Well, hello and welcome. My name is Velma. You can connect with me at velmanolds.com. This is all about your leadership chat. What does that mean? You get to listen in on valuable insights from valuable leaders just like you. I want to encourage you to go ahead and subscribe so that you never miss another episode. And if this is of value to you, please share the nuggets that you're going to take away from all these great leaders. Please give a big welcome to my special guest and your valuable leader, Jamie Zeller. Jamie, welcome to your leadership chat.
Thank you so much for having me here today. I'm really excited.
Oh, this has been a long time in the making. We've had this scheduled and then we had to reschedule. I know I had to reschedule, you had to reschedule, and I'm like, the two of us shall meet before the end of this year.
It will happen.
I know, right? And so I am super excited, and I would love for you to share a little bit about who you are and what you do with those that are listening in.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much. I keep saying that, but this is such a treat to be here today. I'm the mom of a 15-year-old boy. I always talk about my personal life first because that's what's really important in life. My job does not define me, so I have to really make sure people understand that is the real truth in life, is that our families and our friends are so very important to us. So I am the mom of a 15-year-old boy who is absolutely amazing, so much fun, a little bit scary at times because he looks like his dad and acts just like me. It's frightening. I am engaged and I'll be married soon in a few months. That's very exciting. And yeah, I just have
congratulations.
Thank you. I have a great family, and I enjoy cooking and I enjoy writing and singing. So that's just about my personal stuff.
No, not just. I've got to pause you because it is so, truly valuable when someone says, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. And they start with, I'm a mom, or I'm a sister, or I'm the daughter of, or or I am the better half of this person, right? Because it's the people in our life that make us who we are today and make us better tomorrow. So I love that. And the line that you said is something that it took me a long time to figure it out. So I had a little identity crisis, but the fact that your job does not define you. It's what
true.
You do. It's not who you are.
Right. A lot of us get wrapped up in things every day, and the stress of what we do on a daily basis for work and the outside noise stuff. And it's really important to take a few minutes just to center yourself and remind yourself what's really important in life. And my fiance is absolutely amazing at keeping me grounded in that way. So I'm very appreciative for that.
Yeah. And he's been on your leadership chat, and he spoke so highly of you. So it's like this, you both are just cheerleaders. And I mean that in true sense of valuable leader. You are cheerleaders for each other. And that's a beautiful thing when you speak up for each other. So thank you for sharing that side of you, but tell us also, what do you do and how that is of value to your community? Because I know it is.
Sure. Well, I started out as a 911 dispatcher for police and fire department out here in California, and did that for about 20 years. It was a fantastic career. And now I switched to code enforcement. So I'm a code enforcement supervisor for the city of Carlsbad. And I'm also the president of the California Association of Code Enforcement Officers.
Wow. Awesome. And I smile because just yesterday, no coincidences in life, just yesterday, I did a training program for one of our city police departments for their supervisors in the 911 dispatch. So it was the supervising, the supervisors that are leaders of teams of individuals that handle those 911 calls every day, and high stress. And I don't need to tell you, high stress environment, really just, having to stay balanced and having that perspective of you've got to keep the team focus
Yeah.
on the importance of what they're doing, but also have a sense of helping them to stay balanced with what's going on in their personal life, as well as the emergencies they handle every day.
Yes.
So I got to go into the dispatch center,
So
and
cool.
yeah, it was so cool. And and it just warmed my heart, because the manager of the supervisors that was taking me on the tour, who brought me in, just so proud as punch of, the team and what they're doing, and all the
Yeah.
tools that you have, and the cost involved in setting up one of those stations to handle those. Anyway, it happened yesterday. So
Oh,
of
that's so
course,
great.
I know yesterday I did 2 hour training session with them on their leadership experience. It was fantastic. And I just kudos to their manager for having the vision to want to just give them time to breathe. That's what she said.
That's huge.
She,
That's huge.
yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. First
Well,
of all, that is
yeah.
something that is so needed in
Mhm.
that profession. I
Yeah.
could speak for hours about that.
Mhm.
I'm very big on the wellness aspect of
Yes.
people,
Yes.
and balancing your professional and personal lives. And with that career,
Yeah.
it's so important to maintain yourself, maintain that mental health wellness. So
Yes.
thank you for doing that. That
Oh,
is very great.
yeah. No, I had to share it, because I did not, I really got an opportunity to truly appreciate it from being there. And it's so fresh in my mind to see the individuals and their heart for, they're like,
Yeah.
they're here for the county, and for the city and the community. And they, even one of the supervisors, she said, I just know that I want my team to do really well, the call takers, because it could be, that could be my sister calling for
Yes,
help, or my father,
exactly.
and I was like, whoa, talk about hitting home. So thank you for your service in that area. Sometimes we think it has to be the ones that um, maybe we are well known for service, military, which do a fantastic job of protecting us, or, different kinds of service arms of our public service leaders. But in this case, sometimes it's those that what they would call the civilians that are supporting
Yes.
those in service for us.
Yes. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think dispatchers are really the first line. Trying to think of what to say with this. They are really the first people that they meet. So the police officers obviously are out there in the field
Yeah.
and connecting with the community, but those first responders are dispatchers. And they passed an assembly bill recently in the past few years that really identified them as first responders, which is huge regarding, things like retirement, because, that like you said, it is a very stressful career.
Yeah.
It's so much fun though, but I don't think people really had an understanding about like this, the mental, heaviness of all the different types of calls that they take. People don't call 911 because they're having a good day.
No,
you know?
no, exactly. And you have to have that calmness about them. And so that to me speaks to the fact that sometimes, I looked at the supervisors and they didn't necessarily see themselves as leaders or even necessarily their team members. And I
Oh,
said, let's demystify that right now. Because if, as a leader, if you run around with your head on fire, and everything's going
right.
crazy, the rest of the world is going to fall apart. And your ability and the ability of your call takers to remain calm
Yes.
and to, get to what is the problem, and provide that connection immediately within a short amount of time with a solution to get resolution. I mean, to me, that's foundational to be a leader.
No, absolutely. It was a great transition from dispatch to code enforcement. I
Yes.
really wanted to see something, change in our communities, a visible difference. You're on the phone at 911 and you're helping people, but you don't get to actually see a tangible difference, right? And it was fantastic. The investigation skills transferred over very well because that's what they do in dispatch.
That's right.
They're not only taking those calls, but they're investigating things for the officers out in the field to
Sure.
provide them information to keep them safe.
Mhm.
So it was really wonderful to transfer over to code enforcement and be a part of such an amazing professional community. And now to be a part of KCO has been just so
Yeah.
humbling.
You're heading up the association out there. I mean, you just it's so wonderful to hear about your journey and to know. And in all of that, the thing that I take away is that your heart is for service.
Yes,
From
absolutely.
from dispatch 911 to code enforcement, and now heading up the association out there. It's all for service, so which is
It
all
is.
big in a leader's tool belt, right? For being a leader, it's to serve. Okay, I could talk to you about that, and I guess it's because I'm just so excited from yesterday too, and just getting an inside look, behind the curtain, if you will, on
Right.
what's going on really there. But tell us now, we when we have folks on, we talk about valuable leaders, and leaders can have a positive impact and they can have a negative impact, and it's what you take from that and the value of it for you. And I'd love for you to share who in your life is a valuable leader, and why would you say that about them?
I thought a lot about this, and it was really important to me that I imparted what my real thoughts are on this. So it's not just one person.
Good. Okay.
So in my personal life, I really need to say that my parents are, amazing leaders. They have been fantastic role models and completely supportive my entire life.
Wow.
And I think that my my desire for wanting to lead and serve comes from my parents, honestly.
Right.
I just, you can't you can't ever replace that that love from parents, right?
Mhm.
It's the most amazing thing. And I've seen people go through their lives and not have support from their parents, and seeing what happens from that.
Sure.
So I am just so appreciative to them for that. And then professionally, I have to say, Ed Varso, he's a police chief out here in San Diego County.
Mhm.
And he is amazing. We started working together when we were in our 20s. And, I watched him start out as a patrol officer and go to a canine officer and go through the ranks. And he is absolutely amazing for several reasons. He's very humble. I've watched people go through promotions and get almost an ego and change. Their personalities change. And it's very sad. And I think it probably comes to an ego issue or a power issue, and power goes to their head, but he's never let that happen. He is still the same person that I met when we were in our 20s. And he's always been so supportive of his team, so supportive of his partners, supportive of dispatchers, to be able to grow and learn and be educated on a variety of different things. So I would say he absolutely is an amazing leader.
Wow. Yeah, no, I love the fact that you said even though his position changed, he didn't change as the person who he was at
Right.
the heart of it. Of course, we know you grow more, you have more
Yes.
to develop and those things, and you get sharper in using your strengths and new talents and skills. But he didn't change who he was at the heart, who he was as the person. His heart was always to serve, regardless of the areas of the force, and the people in the roles that they had. And so that speaks volumes, that you don't ego. I've been told that ego is described as everyone got one, EGO, everyone got one, right? Yeah, but those that are truly valuable leaders, they understand that it's the people in their lives that they're there to serve, and they their heart doesn't change, even though circumstances, environment, or, good things like promotions and more responsibility. They are who they
Yes.
are. Ah,
Yeah. And being aware and wanting to grow your team and grow the people around you. I think that's a huge component of that too. And
mm,
I've seen that throughout his career. And
right.
he's absolutely an amazing police chief, and that city is lucky to have him.
Yeah, he didn't just it wasn't all about him growing and developing, but it was about also how can he take others along for the journey with
Yes.
him. You also spoke about your parents, and it's several, of the guests that I've had on over time, you pause and they say, I would be remiss if I didn't stop and say my mom or my dad or both.
Yes.
Or my grandparent, or so there's those people that are in our life from very early on that set those values and those beliefs into us about, like you said, they're servant leaders, and that's why you have that in your heart to do the same thing, model after your parents. So very well. That's amazing. So thank you. Two very good examples of valuable leaders. And I know there are more. It's always a tough question because people are like,
It is.
well, I could talk about this person and that person. And but it's also a great reflective question because it helps us say, have I really sat back and thought about who has helped me to be who I am today? And have I told them that? And this is
Yes.
public way for you to, for folks to acknowledge and be able to share that. I've had several people share it and say, oh, I shared this about my dad and he was just tearing up, I've never seen a grown man cry, type
Oh, I
thing.
love that. I think it's amazing and it's important. You said, making sure that you tell people.
Yeah.
You don't need to have an interview to tell people. I think it's important in our daily lives to make sure that people feel appreciated, right?
Yeah.
There's always that one teacher that everyone has, right? Throughout their education. They're lucky to have more than one, but it's
Right.
usually just one that sticks in your mind. And, I think I tried really hard to find that one from my grade school time, and I couldn't locate him, but it was, those people just really make an impact in your lives. And it's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. And so you have such good examples of valuable leaders in your life. And my next question is all around one, to know and not to do is not to know. So how are you paying it forward, Jamie? How do you impact other people so that they could see the value that they have as a leader and step into their role as valuable leaders? How are you doing that?
Well, there's a little story behind that. So I would say that in my former career as a dispatcher,
Mhm.
and I think this is common in any profession, but that's my example, is
Right.
that sometimes females are not so nice to each other,
Mm,
and they're not very supportive, and it becomes very evident that they don't want you to succeed, right? And that's not all females, because I've
right.
had very amazing female, supervisors, management, but it was really hard for me to swallow that someone really wanted me to fail.
Wow.
And I I decided at a very young age not to do that. I used to teach a class called How Dispatchers Eat Their Young.
Mm,
And it's all about new people that came into that profession, which
sure.
is already stressful.
Right, right.
And then to deal with that social aspect, of trying to fit in and adapt to the climate of working with a team in such close quarters, right?
Right.
So I've taken that and tried to continue that on throughout my career,
Mm,
throughout different professional or personal endeavors. And I really do enjoy mentoring and making sure that I'm providing people the tools to succeed, not to fail. I
right.
want to set people up, not just females, but males as well, of course. But I want to set people up for success. And that's what we should all be doing. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be about being threatened by someone that
Right.
they're going to take your job. I'm really against silos and information hoarding.
Right.
My supervisor now with the city of Carlsbad, Robbie Hickerson, my manager is amazing. And he and I are on the same wavelength. And I've only been at the city for the past year and a half. And it's been an incredible experience creating a wonderful team.
Yeah.
And we're on the same page about that. And that is about imparting all the information that we have, right, for the newer people. It's about pushing them towards goals that they have, getting them the education that they need, providing professional development opportunities for them, and just really helping them succeed instead of seeing people as a threat.
Yeah. Oh man, that is so powerful. And actually, you kind of close the circle, I don't know if you see it, but I always look for how the dots connect when we don't even necessarily may plan it that way. And what I mean by that is when we started off, you were talking about the valuable leaders in your life really were there to set you up for success. I mean, that
Yes.
they weren't the words you used then, but I was like, your parents laid those foundational values of service in you that contribute to the leadership role you have today and have had throughout your career. And then Ed, the police chief out there that has really consistently been like, how do I pour back into others and bring them along
Yes.
with me, has set that example for you of what does it mean to add value to other people, to set them up for success, to help them reach their full God-given potential. And that's what you are doing to pay it forward. That's when you said, I really want to set people up for success. And
Yes.
it's because others have done it for you.
Yes. And I think that's important. There's some people that don't get that opportunity,
Yeah.
and don't have that, foundation or someone to mentor them. And I really encourage people to reach out and to branch out and impart their knowledge on what they're doing. If it's a volunteer organization, if it's, your actual career that you get paid for, if whatever in your personal life, I think it's really important just to bring people up instead of trying to push people down.
Yeah. It's a saying that your focus should not be when you stand on the shoulders of giants, it's not to push them down. It's to recognize that it's because of them that you are able to reach higher.
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000% yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. All right. So this is going to be a big, tough question for you, but I know you got it because you're just full of such great wisdom here. When people listen in, that I get notes and they're like, what I really love about these leadership chats, Velma, is you always have a big takeaway for us from the listeners. And it's your opportunity. Really, I've had people say things like, boy, I wish I would have known this back then, or this is one thing I learned in my life that I'd love to pass on to others, or at this stage in this season, here's what I would tell individuals listening. And so I would love for Jamie to share one big takeaway that you would want to give to the listeners on how they could be more valuable leaders in their personal and professional life.
I think we've talked about that. I really do. It's not seeing people as a threat. It's not seeing newer people, newer ideas as a threat. Right. It's taking a moment and putting your ego aside and actually listening. I think that's such a huge thing, especially that came from dispatch. There's a difference between listening and hearing, right? People can be talking. It's like the Charlie Brown teacher, they'll want, right? But it's really important to sit and listen to what people are saying to you and helping them to be better. Most people have that desire to achieve different things, different goals throughout their life. Yeah. And it's so important to embrace new ideas and to be open to things and to never be a silo. I had a supervisor a long time ago that was an information hoarder, and they just wanted to keep all the information to themselves because they thought that if they kept that information, then they would be irreplaceable.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I want to impart to everyone is that all of us are replaceable professionally.
Yep.
None of
Drop
us
the mic.
are replaceable.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. All of us are replaceable professionally, and none of us are replaceable personally. So I really think that's a huge part of it. So share the information that you have, share information you've learned, because those people are going to take your place in the future. And you want that great service and that great leadership and that great mentoring to continue.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, that is a great, great nugget to take away and to apply, to really focus on, not having silos, but investing in other people, paying it forward. The things we talked about, setting people up for success, you learn so that you could then help others learn and grow because someone did it for you.
Yes.
We have what we have and where we are because there's been other people in our lives. And so that's such a great takeaway, to be that other person for the people in your life. Hands down.
And
Wow.
it's free. Listen, it doesn't cost anything.
It's free. It didn't cost you.
It's free. There's things that are just, you can't put a monetary value on. And just being able to support others is huge. It's just, you can't replace that. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, and I feel your heart for it. It's definitely, you've seen the worst end of it, where someone felt so insecure that they're in their leadership, that they had to keep everything tight to the vest, closed fist. And I always teach this example that if you close your fist and hold on to all the information and hold on to all the things that and there's nothing can get into your hand because your hand is closed. It's not until you end up giving things away, that you share information, that you're willing to help other people, that then someone can put something in your hand. And so to raise your leadership lid, you have to open your hand and give things away to make room for more, for new things.
And that's exciting. New is exciting.
Yeah.
Changing careers 20 years into such a very loved profession that, I really enjoyed being a dispatcher, but I love being a code enforcement officer.
Right.
It's really interesting. And I've worked at 3 different places to be able to see the differences in the communities and the differences and the positive impacts that we can make has been really amazing.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. What a great way to tie that up. So I know listeners are like, okay, so how do I learn more about Jamie? How do I follow her, know more about the work that you do in the community and the association and what they do? Share a little bit of that for everyone with us.
Absolutely. As we talked about, I am the president of CASEO. It's the California Association of Code Enforcement Officers. You can go on our website at caseo.us and learn all about the code enforcement profession. I'm also on LinkedIn, Jamie Zeller, and I would love to hear from you. And if you are interested in the world of dispatching or interested in the world of code enforcement, I would love to connect with you.
Awesome. Yeah. For service in service for others. You heard it here with Jamie Zeller, and we'll put the connection here right on the screen so folks can reach out to you. Jamie, I want to sincerely thank you so much for your service here today, sharing, and for having your leadership chat with me. I'm super excited to have you in my circle of influence, part of those that I know now. Thank you so much.
Oh, Velma, thank you so much. Having you here and reaching out to people and talking about leadership is, just a huge stepping stone for all of us. And I think it's really important. You are imparting your knowledge and allowing other people to impart their knowledge about leadership. And I'm very humbled to be on today. So thank you so much.
Thank you too. And so there you have it on Your Leadership Chat. Hey, thanks so much for watching another episode of Your Leadership Chat. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button here and tap that bell icon so that you never miss another episode. I hope too that you'll give us a thumbs up on the video for a like. And then if you feel led, please share the video with those who need to see it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Your Leadership Chat. Bye for now.